John, quit turning sideways. John, quit it.
Hey, hold on. I gotta switch to my
John Knight.
what?
All here back in the picture, bro.
I can't see y'all. I mean, I can see y'all, but y'all can't see me.
Are you sitting in the chair in the same spot you were?
Yeah.
Turn the camera around. You done hit the camera button, John. Hey, John, figure that technical shit out next time.
Yeah, I'm learning every day.
Everybody, and welcome back to Gettin 10-8. And I tell you what, if only y'all could have been here for the previous 15 minutes of us trying to herd these fucking cats onto this show. Oh, Lord, I'm going to have to make sure I put at least 10 seconds of that in there before I said I dropped an F-bomb. So, tonight, anytime you see us this worked up, you know we got Richard Chapman and John Knight on here with Mike Pontius and myself. And I want to talk about some of the good old calls, and I want us to jab at each other. But before we get into the jocularity, I kind of want to talk about the last time we were all together in the same place. Wasn't on this podcast. We were at the Loch barbecue cook-off, and there was a big goal that was met this year. And Mike, I want to give you a chance to talk a little bit about that, the 5th annual Loch barbecue cook-off that was held in D'Iberville, Mississippi, and what the goal was, what charity got it, and have at it, brother. It's all you, Mike.
Man, I can't do this, you know that, bro. We had a goal. Every year we set a goal, and first year I didn't know what it was, but I said I'm gonna raise 10,000. We raised 14. So next year I'll raise 15. We raised almost 16, I think it was. And so this year I said I'm raising $20,000, and I hadn't written a check to the foundation, but we're writing a check for $20,000. So it's actually a significant amount more than that. I'm keeping $3,500 back.
Yep.
Because it costs $2,500 a day. I send the contract in for the band. And then I've got deposits I've got to pay on different things, the golf carts, the portalette rental trailer. So I got another $1,000. I got to buy a grand champion trophy and stuff. So I'll spend that money before it starts. But at the end of the day, we raised about $24,000.
Good job.
Overall revenue was $46,000.
And what charity is this going to, Mike?
It's going to the Memorial Hospital Foundation Oncology Fund to help people fight cancer who cannot afford to do it.
Perfect.
Period.
Perfect calls. Perfect calls.
Yeah. So it's and it was a gosh damn honor to see you and your people, Vic and John and Richard and Scott and Johnny
David Mims.
And the only thing that's changed on that son of a bitch is his hair color.
Yeah.
He ain't got a wrinkle. He ain't lost a pound. He ain't gained a pound. He still got his. We all need to roll our sleeves up for David Mims here.
I think he cuts his off.
No, he just rolls them up. He don't put a Marlboro pack in them. But you know what? It was. And John, I got to admit to you, bro, I really do feel embarrassed at the time. Me and my son-in-law were helping you put the tent up. And the fuck if I didn't recognize who you were. I God dang it, man, I felt so bad. And then when I saw you afterwards, here's this son bitch. I thought everybody says I look good. This son bitch is tan and and got color everywhere and ain't skinny as a freaking rail, ain't ate up with cancer and look good. And we trying to help him pop his tent up that y'all was all sitting under. And I look over, my son-in-law's trying to help you, Jake. And John, you work with his tits on a borehole. And but thankfully, we're able to get y'all's tent set up. And just to see the old camaraderie sitting there under that tent was pretty freaking cool. It's an honor to host this damn event, and I can't tell you what it meant. Rob, you really drove the shit out of it, but to get all your friends from up north and to get people from down here to show up, every year I make it a point to go through the grounds and talk to people if I don't know them or if I do know them. I mean, as you can tell, I'm a little bit busy, but I do try to make the rounds. And if I see somebody I don't know, I'll make it a point to introduce myself and welcome to the party and ask them where they're from. And, I've got stories for days, but two of the greatest stories this year were one of the cooking teams had families staying at a hotel on the interstate right down from here and had on a barbecue shirt for their cooking team in the lobby. And somebody from New Hampshire,
Yeah,
I think. Did y'all meet him? From New Hampshire, comes up to this couple and says, what's the shirt y'all got? They say, we got a big barbecue up the road from here with a band from Nashville. That's how you get people here. They coming back next year. They already done friended me on Facebook and sent me. Next thing you know, there's a couple from Nebraska. The same hotel, saw the same dude with the shirt on, said, yeah, it was a barbecue. And he told them the name of it, but that was, I mean, they had to go find it.
Right.
So we had 5 people here, 2 from Nebraska and 3 from New Hampshire who were down here doing special ops training with some special forces deal, their civilian protection details. This shit just amazes me every day.
Well,
So thank you for coming, and thank you to everybody that raised $20,000.
well, I
Mike,
talked
let
to
me ask
Dr.
you something.
Wall.
I'll forget this, but I'm going to ask you right now. I don't know how much you spend on the golf carts, but I know I can round up at least 3 side-by-sides next year.
At the end of the day, Richard, I sincerely appreciate the offer, and I hope I never have to get back in the position where we can't afford to pay $500 to get them. But I think we're heading towards the.
let me tell you something. You talked about, you said portalettes. That wasn't a portalette, man. That was a bathroom with HVAC. It was a nice bathroom when I went in. I was shocked.
Bathroom. So here's the story on that bathroom. That bathroom, the first year we did it, we had 3 portalettes.
Yep.
And the bathroom on the back porch got abused because the lady said they wasn't going in a portalette, but it wasn't near as big. The second year, I called this guy up and I said, man, there's only a couple people that do it. And if I could ever get Alex Hodge to answer me from up in Laurel, he would probably do it, but he hadn't. I don't know what's up with him. But anyway.
His brother-in-law works with me. I might be able to reach out to Alex for you.
So this dude brings me a 4-stall restroom trailer. We had it for 2 years. First year we had portalettes. Second year we had a trailer. Skipped the third year. Fourth year we had a trailer.
The third year.
Anyway, this dude brings it. So last year when he picked up the 4-stall trailer, I said, how much room we got left in that holding tank? It was red.
Yeah.
It was full. And we didn't have near the people we had this year. So as soon as I've already started on it, anyway, earlier this year, I said, hey, man, I need
a bigger trailer.
He said, Mike, all I got's a 10-stall. I said, I'll take it. He says, I'll tell you what, it rents for $2,500 a day, but I'll give it to you for the 4-stall price of $1,250 a day. I said, I'll take it. So anyway, the story I'm getting to is that just like with anybody, you never know who's going to be sick or whatever's going to happen to them. But Brian O'Dell and I knew each other back in our teens in Pascagoula, Mississippi when we sailed. So we reconnected, had a bunch of mutual friends. And so about 6 weeks before the barbecue, he sends me a picture. John Knight, you may appreciate this, with his shirt up with a fucking port right here in his clavicle. I said, what's up with that? He says, oh, pancreatic and stomach cancer. I said, motherfucker. So anyway, he ain't doing good. So he sold his business, but he had come over here on Friday morning, dropped the trailer off, had to go back to Mobile, had to take another trailer to Picayune. He's got 7 of these 10 stalls. He rents them out. He rented one to Target, all these big construction people.
Right.
And so he ain't doing good, man. He ain't doing good at all. So he tells me when he drops off the thing Friday, I said, hey, Brian, I want to talk to you about something, man. I said, I know you're not at your best physical condition right now. I said, but why don't we work out a deal where I'll run your show for you for 50% of the profits until you're healthy enough to get back into it. Because I know he can't keep it. It's labor, physical labor intensive. I mean,
you got to set up a trailer.
And it ain't easy. And he's just getting skinnier by the day. He said, Mike, I actually thought about calling and ask if you wanted this business. I said, I wouldn't have bought it, but I would be glad to help you run it until you're back able to do it. He said, but you know what? This is a young man's game. It ain't neither one of us young. He said, I got it sold. I said, all right, that's fine. I said, make sure whoever you sell it to knows about us.
About
he
this
said, well,
deal.
Yeah. The dude he sold it to lost a son to cancer. Well, you know what? I'm sorry he lost his son to cancer, but this dude gets it.
Yeah.
So what? We getting the same deal next year. So anyway, he shows up, I guess Tuesday after the barbecue, and I was back at work and everything was cleaned up. I think there was 1 or 2 pits left they were picking up, and he shows up and he called me and said, hey man, I'll be there in about an hour and a half. I said, well, I get off at 2. I said, if you make it around 2:30, I can meet you at the house. So he got here at 2:30. He says, dude, it's been fun. He says, I'm dropping this off at the new owner's place and I'm getting my U-Haul and we're heading to Savannah. He's moving to Savannah. So
beautiful country.
I talk to him about once a week and he ain't doing good. So I don't know when the last phone call is going to be, but it's just weird how cancer has grabbed every freaking corner of this barbecue.
Yeah.
From the dude that runs the shit trailer to the dude that runs the show to the people sitting out there to, to the girl that runs the foundation had breast cancer. I mean, it has affected this barbecue in ways that you would never imagine.
Cancer is a shit show. Like a Yakov Smirnoff opening for the spin doctors at the Iowa State Fair. Shit show.
And so I'm honored to have y'all here and thank you. So I'm done. Get on with the show, Robbie.
Well, look, I had a large time, and one of the things I did go around. I got a bunch of B-roll footage with the camera before I went in. I had some stuff I had to do there at the barbecue.
That video was awesome.
But so I'm out there getting B-roll footage to throw together a video. So next year, when we start talking about Loch number 6, y'all are going to see there's a video that goes with it. So y'all
Mike,
do what now?
It's out of the world. I just can't wait to put the check presentation at the end.
Yep. Once I get that, we'll be able to close
We're doing it.
Loch 5 out.
Hey, speaking of, did y'all like the band?
Oh yeah.
Well, guys,
Very good.
John, yeah. And look, the first band you had, the project was awesome.
Project, out of this world, man. So Tony and I, actually, the lead guitar player and backup singer, stage left. Tony, he and his wife and my wife Lori, his wife's name is Lori. They both graduated together at Ocean Springs, and we've been literally listening to them since 1980.
Yeah.
So they've been around. They've played all 5 years, and they're going to play next year too. We're already booked. But But John Oye played at the Chiquiwawa in New Orleans Friday night. And he just kind of laughed at it. So I said, I need y'all to remember that when y'all are playing AT&T Stadium, I want backstage passes. He says, bro, you got it covered. We picking you up in the jet.
That's good.
It's a neat deal, man. So anyway, I'm done talking. Y'all go ahead.
Well, look, I mean, we've rattled on about the event, and there were 2 other people that were there. So, kind of, what was your perspective, Richard? What was your perspective, John? Like I said, I was shocked when I saw David Nims there. I guess that Scott St. Germain must have called him or something, and let him know, or did y'all?
No, I think Mike Stanton talked to him.
Dan talks to me. They got more closet material than the rest of us could ever think about having. They know what every bones in there.
Richard has got bones of about a dozen bodies in his closet.
Richard's a freaking angel compared to them two.
The problem is I can't remember them. But I was thrilled to see David and Mike. You know, Mike and I were roommates when I met Leslie.
I remember you told us that on the show.
Huh?
You told us that on the show that night.
And he just, you know, I hadn't seen Mike in 25 years or whatever. And it was so good. It was good, so good to see him. So good to see John. I got to admit, I didn't recognize David. He had to tell me who he was. I knew him. I just couldn't.
You recognize that bald-headed son of a bitch on the screen and didn't recognize Mims?
No, I knew John right away.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, I knew John.
Because he saw me
and rubbed his head.
Yeah, he saw me at his reunion
Party at the house. Yeah,
at his house. Yeah.
And speaking of that, let me just throw this out there. And I'm not promising anything, but if we were to do another reunion here at my house,
I'll be there.
Could you do the podcast?
Holy shit!
Ooh, you want to do a live?
I'm just saying. You know, we can put it out on Ghost of the Coast and see.
We can record one, but there's a lot of editing that goes on the backside of these podcasts. I'm going to tell you.
Hold on. Time out, Richard. I appreciate. I wish I could have made it. I couldn't. But so I worked at Biloxi Regional in the ER for about 3 years as a tech from 85 to 88, I guess. And I left there. That's when I started working at the Coliseum as a medic. But they do a Biloxi Regional Howard Memorial reunion every year.
Really?
And they do it the weekend after the barbecue. And I have convinced them this year or coming up to do it here.
At the barbecue.
At the barbecue. I said, look, you're going to spend more than $40 at Cafe Orleans for gumbo and stuff. Why don't you come eat barbecue, drink beer, listen to music, bring pop-up tents and do it. So I have convinced them. The only stipulation, there's 2 wheelchair people, so I got to work on that logistical hump, but I think we can do that. Richard, let's do the old timers reunion here for the barbecue. Raise money. They're going to drink. They're going to eat. If they don't want to drink, Richard, let's start working on this. John, Rob, let's work on helping raise money through the reunion. And I will sponsor any son of a bitch that says they can't afford to come to the reunion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all.
Look, and I don't care how you word, say text Mike if you're unable to, or find a way to do an anonymous bullshit. Tell them we have a sponsorship for admissions. But let's make that happen this year where the EMS Ghost reunion is at the barbecue and the Biloxi Regional reunion, and we can call somebody from Memorial and get a reunion there.
Right?
Yeah.
Works for me.
And this is a perfect example of something that will be edited out of this podcast.
Let me rephrase that in a less threat.
No.
That damn cancer's brutal, John Knight.
What's that?
I hate cancer, dude.
No, I do too.
Fuck, I hate it.
Did we have the eat barbecue fuck cancer eat barbecue stickers this year? I didn't look at the merch tent.
It was that they were at the table. It was the Loch fuck cancer sticker, but I just Lord told me I couldn't say fuck cancer no more on the stage. But I'm just, until you've had that shit, you don't give two shits about the fuck word. But once you had it, it's in your blood to run that shit out of town like the mice.
Yeah.
It just sucks, dude. Anyway, I hate cancer. I don't know if I tell you all that.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob.
Yes, sir.
My wife asked me before we started, she said, "What's the topic tonight?" I said, "I have no idea." Just kind of like you're in my
Neither do we.
conversation. I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but so
We go where it goes, Richard.
Well, I knew we were going to talk about, because I wanted Mike to let everybody know officially on the podcast for the official bringing it out and saying that his fundraiser that we've promoted here on the podcast did reach their goal of $20,000 donated to the foundation. And we've just kind of
I want to say that's the most relaxing time I ever had.
really,
Yeah.
What it's about, bro.
Yep. I mean, I don't drink or anything anymore, but that was just a pleasure, and my wife loved it too. You know,
I'm honored, dude. That means the world. Robbie shows up last year as a judge, and he's walking around like Mr. Magoo with his camera, taking pictures, asking if he can video shit. I'm like, dude, just not the portalet.
Oh, I videoed the portalet this time. Nobody was
John?
in there. I said, I've got it. I said, this is so nice. I'm getting a video of this damn thing.
Yeah,
You're lucky I didn't put it in the promotion video for next year. Look at where you're going to piss.
yeah.
Hey, John?
We knew you zoomed in.
John, did your wife say, "Who is that bitch that talks so much"? Because
No, she enjoyed every minute of it.
every time I looked over her there,
Oh
your
yeah,
wife,
they were
my wife,
yakking up a storm.
looked like long lost friends. I said, "Did y'all know each other before?" She said, "No, we just hit it off." I said, "Okay."
Well,
They sure did.
We've got our traumas. We can hit it off and talk to each other about all the bullshit we dealt with on the trucks. They got their traumas from putting up with us. So that's what they were bonding over. Oh, your husband's an asshole too, huh? Yeah.
You know what I just found out today? My family tree is a cactus. Because we're all pricks.
I was gonna say, there's little pricks everywhere, huh?
Let's get into some of the good old times.
Right. I got a story. I don't know if y'all were in either way. It would have been you or John involved. We were working at Mobile Medic, and we were at the new place over there by the casino now.
Yep.
And,
The new place.
yeah, the new place. Yeah.
The old funeral home. We were at the old funeral home.
And of course we had the dorm across the parking lot. So one afternoon we're on duty, and I said, let's do some training. I got this bright idea. I'm gonna institute training. So I created a scenario where we had two or three shooting victims in the bottom floor of the dorm area over there, and
By the TV room.
I created this whole scenario where I said, all right, it just happened. Let's do it, everybody. And so we had two crews, and we're trying to triage patients and all that stuff, and it went okay, And that was like a Friday afternoon, and about 9 o'clock that night, we get toned out, both units and the Long Beach unit, for a triple shooting in Pass Christian. Right before you go over the first bridge, when you turn north away from the beach in Pass Christian,
Heading towards the bay. Yeah.
Yeah. Back in there was a Jim Walter home, and they had a shooting, and we pulled up there, and there were 3 guys shot. Luckily, all were 22s. And
Oh,
but I mean, it was like I planned that scenario, you know.
Fine speech. Now what do we do?
They shot you. You may shouldn't have done that training thing in the downstairs room.
Well, they were all downstairs too. They were underneath it.
Jesus.
Somebody pulled up. They were underneath having a barbecue or something. Somebody pulled up and started shooting. So we didn't even have to go upstairs. But when it was all, you know, it was hectic for a while. We got done, and whoever was working with me looked at me and said, "Don't you ever fucking plan another training exercise."
What year was that, Richard?
Oh shit, that would have been in
81, 82?
probably so, somewhere in that neighborhood.
I wasn't there yet, so it wouldn't have been me. I didn't show up.
I was
until
thinking
85.
John might have been there.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a story to tell. You were in it, Richard. I was doing my paramedic rotations, and I was riding with Richard, and I think his name was Mike Cuevas or Ladner or Nikes or something like that. Yeah, yeah. So he was driving, and we had just got off a call where a car ran underneath a semi truck, and guy wasn't hurt, you know, or anything. It took off the roof of the car. He ducked, and you know, he had a couple scratches on him, but he signed a release. So then we get toned out to a heart attack up in shit, I don't know, the Kill or somewhere. And I'm riding in the jump seat. It was late at night, and Richard hollered, "Duck!" And that scared the shit out of me because, you know, I'm thinking, you know, we're fixing to hit a semi truck, but we're not going to slide up underneath it.
You can't duck in the back of that truck. You're higher than the drivers in the back of the truck.
Yeah. So I hear da-dum, da-dum. And I look out the back window, and there's feathers flying. So they were ducks.
He was
But
like Captain Sully. Like
They
Sully.
called, and they said that they had took him in the truck to Hancock General or whatever it was called. And we turned around. I don't know who it was. Was it you, Richard, or Mike, that took a pillowcase and put those dead ducks in it and took it to Big John. Big John said, "Hell, I'll eat them."
Big John said he would eat the ducks.
Yeah, Big John. He
Oh,
was going to cook them.
Wow.
all right. Now let me tell you the view from the front seat. It was foggy as hell, and it was on Landon Road between Canal and I remember that call vividly for some reason. It was foggy as hell. We're on Landon Road going westbound between Canal and County Farm, and we went down to a little low spot, and just all of a sudden in the headlights there was Mama Duck, Daddy Duck, and about 8 little teenage ducks behind them in a line right across the road.
This ain't gonna end well.
And I went, "Duck!"
in a
And
pillowcase.
Feathers went everywhere. And, of course, we kept going, and we got out. What happened? They signed a release. We didn't transport.
The
So we
duck,
turned around. We're starting back, and I went, "Slow down, slow down." And we got there, and it was carnage.
how did you get?
There were bodies everywhere. And I got out with a pillowcase, and I filled a pillowcase full of duck carcasses, and we took them back to Big John.
Hey, you know, the irony of that is Rester's a huge duck hunter. So Big John probably made him eat one of them ducks. And
I didn't know Rester was a duck hunter.
To this day.
I didn't know Rester was a duck hunter. I love duck hunting.
Rester's health is not what it was, but at one time he was a huge duck hunter. That Big John made Rester eat one of them fucking ducks.
Probably so.
Rester started duck hunting after that.
Really?
I promise. He look, him and Juice Log from Acadian duck hunted religiously. They would go to Kansas or Nebraska and do the pheasant hunts.
Yeah.
And Canadian geese hunt. He turned into a full-blown duck hunter.
Yeah, if I'd have known that, me and him might have got along better.
Hey, I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
All right,
Yeah.
let's take a 5-minute break, everybody.
I'm learning how to operate my iPhone.
Son, you slow as
So
Move to your right a little bit.
there
There
you
My
you
left.
go.
Oh, that's my
left,
right.
Richard. You
You're
gotta
right.
go backwards on the camera, dude. Come on.
What?
scoot
Do what?
back a little bit.
It's reversed on the camera.
Yeah.
So if you want to go right, you go left.
He's fine where he is.
I told him to
No,
go to his
Guys,
right.
go
go back to the
back
left.
the way you were.
God damn it.
I'm just messing with y'all.
I'm gonna write you up.
All right.
So look, I think I told y'all before, my youngest son, who's at the barbecue, Robbie, you saw him. I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah,
y'all got
Grayson.
to or not. He's a fireman and paramedic with Biloxi, and he's fixing to go to work for Harrison County as well. He was
And AMR.
no, he left. He was at Pafford. But he's left it. He got tired of doing transfers.
Yeah.
He said, I didn't go to school for that. I said, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
And Beth is going to be his mother-in-law. He's engaged to Beth LeBlanc's daughter.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And it's really a funny story. It's a full circle story, but he was bitching one day about having to do train. We were over at the house sitting in the pool, and she says, so Grayson, how you like working on the ambulance? She says, I hate those transfers. I couldn't help but laugh. Anyway, so they're doing fire inspections at you know where Harbor Freight in Biloxi is, at Eisenhower Road. They're doing fire inspections in that area. This was like yesterday or maybe today. And I think it was yesterday. He's on shift today. And so they bring him back that card that I gave you. So this is not an old card. He's been gone from AMR, fired or terminated from the Office of Emergency Management for 3 years.
And that he's still passing that card out?
It was always funny that he would order his checks and his business cards. And finally, our corporate printer one day says, we can't put any more initials after your name.
You're out of space.
I mean, he literally would have NREMT paramedic, CC critical care paramedic, CCTP,
LMQ.
RN, couldn't say BSRN because he didn't have a bachelor's degree. VP, I mean, he would have acronym initials after his name that wrapped around. So then when I saw that business card that Grayson, my son, sent me that I sent to y'all, I'm looking at it. He's got 911 commission, planning commission, Office of Emergency Management, Director of Operations. And then he saw the need to write president of the HOA on top of that son of a bitch. I sent it to a few people from work. It elicited the laughs that we thought it was going to.
Y'all got it. He sent it to all of us. It's on y'all's phone.
Yeah, I got it. Back to the story. I got another pillowcase story. I think I've told it already. I told the story about when Bill Markopoulos almost shot me.
No.
Yeah, because you had you said you had a snake. But
The snake story.
It was an alternator belt, wasn't it?
He pulled up at the old ambulance, the old place, and I saw him pull in, and somebody had told me he was afraid of snakes. So I just ran out there and grabbed a pillowcase and threw a radiator hose in it and went running out towards him, holding that hose out, that pillowcase out. I said, Bill, look what we caught. and Bill, Bill, he's deadpan. He stopped, he drew his weapon and aimed it at my chest and said, Richard, I will fucking shoot you if you take another step.
You're lucky you're alive. Seriously, you're lucky you're
Look,
alive.
He is petrified of snakes.
if somebody is scared of snakes, I give them their berth. I don't try to force them. When they come in that lab as a tour, I can always spot them when they come in my lab. Because when I make way, they're looking when I've got the turtles out. They're all checking out the turtles and stuff. But when I make way to that wall and start opening those enclosures,
Bruh.
they're up against the wall on the other side of the lab. And I know, okay, these people have a deep-seated fear, so I don't push them, because somebody that's got a fear of snakes will kill your ass if they think that you're going to put that snake on them.
Yeah, look. I sent Rob a picture while I was in Montana recently of me holding up a 41-inch prairie rattler.
There you go. That's
And
a snake.
Well, it was actually 40 inches because the last inch where the head was cut off. But then he said, did you catch any? I said, I don't catch snakes. I kill snakes. We went out to shoot prairie dogs at this prairie dog town. And all of a sudden, we were surrounded by rattlesnakes. And in the course of about an hour, me, John Scarborough, and my son-in-law killed 41 rattlesnakes in the space of a living room.
You know why they're there?
They're in that
So
prairie dog hole.
Yeah, they live with prairie dog.
Well, not only that, it's that snakes ain't got no hands, so they need shelter. So they literally, if they can find a hole to crawl in, they gonna do it.
Yeah, they live with the prairie dogs. They're not big enough to eat them. The prairie dogs just tolerate them, I guess. But
well, they coexist like the gopher tortoise and the eastern diamondback down here.
Yeah.
Well,
Scaraboughs.
I follow my daddy's philosophy. My daddy told me a long time ago, if he ain't got shoulders, don't trust him.
Look, let me tell you something. After dealing with as many people as I have in this life in 60 years, I trust those damn snakes a damn sight more than I trust most people.
Nah, you can have them.
You know what'll bite you before a snake will?
A woman?
A dog?
Your damn best friend.
Oh, well, that's true, yeah.
I'm 300% certain that. Look, when we moved out here to the house, we lived in the city, and we would have we had a speckled king snake one time in our garage, and they didn't kill it. I wasn't home. They got it wrapped around a golf club and put it in the sewer manhole thing. But we moved out here. The only snakes I've killed out here is copperheads. We had a nest of them under our washout pit where our concrete was right after we came out here. And there was about 8 of them. So I got my little snake charmer, and I just turned them motherfuckers into mincemeat. Dude, I'm cutting the grass one day. There's a stick in the ground. Looks like this. Let me see here. It's about 12 inches above the ground. It's just like a stick. Didn't move. I got a big zero turn. I ride that some bitch is this. So I turned. I said, man, that's a damn snake. So I turned around with the freaking grass shot shooting at this thing. And ain't shooting the grass. I already cut it. He's steadily looking at me. Finally, I turn my video on. I start videotaping this damn snake.
Yep.
And off he goes. He finally took off. I had to move my wood pile, which is if you're facing the house, it's on the north side of the house. I had to move it to do something. I don't remember why it was. When I got the last row of wood out, there was darn 9 rat carcasses. I mean, he had ate them and spit them up.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, anybody says snakes are not good likes rats, I guess. I don't know.
A few years ago, we go to Montana every year, right?
Yep.
This is bullshit.
You heard the wife?
Yeah, she knows she's about to be part of this podcast.
A few years ago, we go to Montana. We deer hunt up there. I don't know if y'all know Tim Ishii. He was a fireman. He is a fireman in Gulfport. Anyway, he was with us. We've been hunting that afternoon. He goes out that evening to get his rifle out of the back seat of my truck and reached in and grabbed it, and it shot. It went off. And he blew a wiring harness that big around in half underneath my truck. So my truck, well, it was her truck at the time. And so it was out of service. It was dead. I went, and next morning, me and John Scarborough laid underneath that so much for hours trying to piece all them wires together. Couldn't do it. Finally had to call the wrecker, come get it. Now we're in the middle of Montana. Nearest Ford dealership's 2 hours away. They send a wrecker, they haul it. So now we're supposed to leave the next day. So I got to call my wife and tell her, honey, we're going to be a few days late. She said, why? I said, well, the truck's in the shop. She said, why is the truck in the shop? I said, a damn porcupine got in there and chewed a wiring harness in half.
Damn porcupines.
And and her exact response was, is that the best bullshit you can come up with? And
She
so
knew.
she knew right away. She knew I was full of shit. And so we spent an extra couple of days in Montana while they put my truck back together. And I came home and she said, so you shot my truck? I said, no, I did not shoot your truck. Tim shot your truck.
True story.
I rolled him under the bus. I said, Tim did it. I didn't do it. But yeah, so but porcupines do eat wiring harnesses just like rats do.
Yep.
But
Allegedly.
allegedly, yeah. But
They got to work on those teeth too.
that's right.
They can't touch the story with the knife, but I'm going to leave that one alone. I already hit on it, so I'm going to leave it alone.
Well, you talked about your ducks that you went back and gathered. I'm going to tell y'all, when I was working in Columbia, we worked for the hospital. Columbia is a small hospital. I don't think it had but like 30 or 40 beds. So a lot of the patients, we were transferring them to Force General. We were bringing them back to Hattiesburg, 30 miles down the road. And they were working on 98, getting it to where it was going to be 4-lane like it is now, all the way across. 98 was 2-lane for a big portion in Lamar and East Marion County. It was 2-lane. So they were going to 4-lane it all the way from Hattiesburg to, well, when they got it 4-lane, or no, they didn't have it 4-lane. It was 4-lane, but it had barrels on one side where they were working on it still. And we're bringing a patient to Hattiesburg, and the family's back behind us, following us in the ambulance going to Hattiesburg. And we're running lights, we're running code, and this deer comes out and hits, or it jumps in front of the ambulance. And I said, well, this thing's going to be screwed. But when I got to the hospital, I'm looking because I know I hit the deer, because when that deer got hit, I saw it doing whirligigs in the air, and it landed. I'm looking in the mirror. It landed, did a split, and, 4-legged split, and just stumbled off the road and fell off the side of the road.
Well, you got some good freaking eyes.
Yeah.
He had good eyes.
I had a vehicle behind me. Remember the family? I had lights on this thing.
Yeah, I forget about that. Go ahead.
So
they stopped.
No, they didn't stop. We book on to the hospital, and I just know I'm gonna have to write a report on the damage of this ambulance. But it was one of those 1986 Ford 350 Type 2 ambulances like we had down there, Mobile Medic. And where it hit that deer was between the headlight and that side, and that one little piece of metal that folds around, then your headlight's in there, and there's reinforced steel, so it didn't do anything to the vehicle other than put blood on the front of it. We got that peroxide, took that right off. Great. No report to write. On the way back to the hospital, floodlights, right floods come on when I hit about that section of road where that deer stumbled off. There she was laying on the side of the road. She was still warm. I had clocked her right in front of her eye on her nose and separated that, and she had the head injury and died right there on the side of the road.
Well, you got some bitch.
Me and my partner slid that son of a gun in the back of that unit and took it back to the hospital. And while my partner was being the being the ER tech for the rest of that shift, I was out back field dressing that deer.
I'll feed you's eating that son bitch.
You
Oh.
might be a redneck if
I took it home.
It might be a
I took
redneck
my
if-
uniform shirt off. I was out there. I took my uniform shirt off, my britches. I don't care if they get blood on them. I had my old tank top wife beater T-shirt that I used to wear under my uniform shirts. I'm out there cleaning a damn deer, hanging it back behind the hospital.
Well, hey, this is my you might be a redneck if your wife holds up a strand of Christmas lights and only half of it's working, and I talked to her in sign language, I said, I was telling her pull the light
Pull the
out.
bulb out. Yeah.
It's the first bulb that's out. I guess she understood what I was saying. She done pulled it out, moved it to the end of the string, put another one in there. Lights work.
Yeah. All you gotta do
that is redneck electronic magic.
just the one at the end that she took out and moved over. The one
Yeah,
at
hang
the
on.
end, you didn't have a light, but you had all the rest of them.
Anyway, she's got it fixed. But
Is that tonight?
You're already putting Christmas lights.
it's what tonight, dude? We've been doing that. We got it all down Sunday. So look, my wife's
Dude,
got a
you know, for every Christmas decoration that goes up before Thanksgiving, an elf drowns a baby reindeer.
There ain't no fucking reindeer left then.
Well, you know,
They're gone.
Yeah, my wife put up a tree.
A tree?
Well, yeah, she's got a little bit of decorations outside, but not much.
you don't
Period.
leave them on all night.
No, man, my wife's got we got blackout curtains, blackout blinds. She sleeps with a face mask. I gotta turn every fucking light off on the outside.
If I was married to you, I'd sleep with a face mask too.
Dude, it's
Amen,
'cause-
Richard.
Right, Richard. I would leave. I don't even want curtains in my windows. My eyes are closed. It's dark. I can't see nothing.
You know, I'm going to tell you the deal with us medics is we can pretty much fall asleep wherever we want when we want.
Oh yeah.
Nice to sleep right now. Look at him.
Yeah, because you got to be able to grab that rest while you can.
John, your doctor tell you not to talk or something? What's wrong? Dr. Wall said don't talk.
Yeah,
No.
Are you
I
watching
wasn't
a
gonna
ball
touch
game? What's
anything
going
over
on
here.
over there, John?
no, she said she didn't know it was that weekend. She knew about it because I had the hat on. You know, I was promoting it for you.
You wore your hat to your cancer appointment.
Hell yeah.
Wearing mine tomorrow then, some bitches. I
Yeah.
ain't about that. I'm wearing a shirt too.
Yep.
I'm gonna
I
make them.
said, man, y'all missed a good barbecue.
Well,
I sported my hat around a pretty good bit before, and hell, Mike, you're gonna have some folks from Arkansas coming down next year.
hey,
Tinkerbell's coming.
who?
Tinkerbell, Tactical Tinkerbell, Kristen.
I hope they come. That was a good time talking with her, man.
She wants to judge.
I know she does, but she can't be judging people drinking beer.
No, she won't. She's fine with that.
I'm gonna tell you, she was awesome. I know I hadn't watched it, and I won't. But did y'all watch the one where we had Tactical Tinkerbell on a couple weeks ago?
I started watching it, and then the grandkids got involved, and I had to stop. But I started watching it.
Dude, she is a story.
Yeah, she's a riot.
He was a cop who got into drinking and didn't want to be a cop no more, and realized that she couldn't be a cop doing it no more, and quit being a cop. And now she's a cop. She don't drink. She is black belt. She's a black belt, a purple belt.
Brown
Her
belt,
husband's
brown belt in jiu-jitsu.
5'2"?
Yeah,
5'2".
And where's she
I wouldn't
at?
mess with her. In Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Branford, Arkansas is the
No,
town.
Blowjob, Arkansas. Bald Knob, Arkansas. Bald Knob, Arkansas.
Bald Knob.
That's where she lives. She works in Bradford.
But I'm just trying to say, who the hell came up with Bald Knob as your town?
Well, who came up with Hot Coffee, Mississippi?
Or Panther Scream.
Or D-Lo.
Yeah. You know what
Hill.
D-Lo's for?
It's higher than the lower.
D-Lo was shortened up for damn low. That was the damn low spot in the railroad tracks at the trains. When they were going down, they were having to juice up to get the steam to be able to get up the hill on the other side, and they called it the damn low spot in the tracks, and that's how D-Lo got its name. Do what?
Granddaddy tell you about Casey Vaughn blowing that freaking whistle before he ran into that train up there invading too.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He would tell you, he would straight up tell you, he pulled that horn till the air tank ran dry. Next thing you know, they ran into each other.
Mm.
Casey Vaughn, Vaden, Mississippi. Anyway,
I spent a night in Broke Dick, Nebraska.
Really? Where is Hale?
It was actually Broken Bow, Nebraska.
Oklahoma.
Huh?
Oklahoma.
No. There's a Broken Bow, Oklahoma. There's also a Broken Bow, Nebraska, and it's got a little airport. I was on my way to Montana. We flew there in a private plane.
Oh, bless you.
Spent the night in Broken Bow, Nebraska. Right away, we called it Broke Dick, Nebraska, because it's in the middle of nowhere. But we landed and asked them for, most of the little airports will have a courtesy car you can borrow. And this would have been in, 90s. We said, you got a courtesy car? I said, sure. And they give us this old Chevy Impala. I don't know, God knows what year it was. It had an AM radio, and it had, you know what snow tires are?
Oh, yeah, got chains on them.
No. They actually got metal studs in the tires.
Oh, yeah.
We sounded like a Sherman tank going down the street.
Yeah.
And so they give us this car, and we were going to go get a hotel, spend the night, and get up early the next morning and fly out. And we said, where's the good place to eat? We want to get a steak. They said, the VFW. I said, oh, great. That's how small the town is. The best restaurant is the VFW. Let me tell you something. The best steak I ever had in my life.
Was it the VFW in Broken Bow, Nebraska?
In Broke Dick, Nebraska, yeah.
Rick, I'm really having a hard time pitying you. In 1990, in a private plane flying to Nebraska to hunt fucking ducks, and you got to spend the night in Broke Dick, Oklahoma, or wherever.
The worst part of that sounds like he had to drive a piece of shit car for the night.
Yeah, no shit. How'd you afford a private plane in 1990? We was poor as shit.
Well, me and the Lord, we got an understanding.
I had a friend of mine that had it.
Okay, drug dealer, I guess. When you was running cocaine through Colombia.
And him and his brother then taught me how to fly, and I bought my plane.
I remember that story.
Now,
that's why Stanton learned to fly because of you, right?
Huh?
Stanton learned to fly because of you, right?
Not that I know of.
And Ellis did it too, I think.
Mike Ellis did it.
Mike Ellis, yeah.
Did it, yeah.
Actually, y'all remember when Pat Sullivan was taking flying lessons?
No.
Oh, this ought to be good.
Pat was taking flying lessons. He was actually using my father-in-law's airplane. And he was involved in a strike where he hit a buzzard in the plane.
Heard that story.
And caused some damage and stuff. But Pat took flying lessons. I don't think he ever got his license.
Not finish it. He did.
Huh?
No, he didn't do it. He didn't finish it.
But he got to the point where he soloed.
Yeah.
But he took lessons. I don't know if he was taking them from my father-in-law or just using his plane, but he was using my father-in-law's plane Well, then my father-in-law got to a point where he lost his medical, and he tried to sell me that airplane. And at that time, I was like, I don't need an airplane. I'm never going to fly. I didn't like small airplanes. And I could have bought that plane for $11,000.
What
Then
size Cessna was that?
172. And so then a few years later, I'm working for Jimmy Miller, climbing cell towers and stuff. And his office was on the airstrip out there on Highway 53.
Yep.
And he got his license, and I'd fly with him sometimes. And I said, well, hell, I might get into this. So I started taking lessons, and ended up buying Jimmy's 172 for $45,000. And
Yeah, should have bought that $11,000 one.
yeah, should have bought. And it was sitting in the same in a hangar on the same airport.
Yeah,
I could have bought it for
probably
11.
same year.
Actually, I think it was a little newer, because the one I bought from Jimmy was a 1971, something like that.
And your father-in-law was what?
Huh?
What was his?
Oh, his was like a 79 or something. It was a pretty nice airplane. But
I bet you feel real smart right about now, don't you?
yeah, I felt real smart, But and see, my father-in-law, he would, anytime he had to take the plane up, like take it to Mobile for radio work or whatever, I'd fly with him, and he'd give me kind of informal lessons. And I said, I don't need this. I'm never going to fly a plane. And then I got into it, and I got my license and stuff. But and I enjoyed it for a while. But turns out I wasn't that good a pilot.
Are you flying still?
No, I hadn't flown in years. I had the plane for I don't know how long. When I first bought it, my wife and my daughter were like, "You don't need an airplane. This is stupid." I said, "I want an airplane," so I bought an airplane. And they thought it was a stupid idea until my daughter started college. And then all of a sudden, "Oh, hey, Daddy, can you come get me to college and bring me home for the weekend?" And all of a sudden, I wasn't such an idiot.
Now, where did she go to school? State?
Mississippi State. Yeah.
So you'd just fly up there to Starkville. And how long a trip was that in the air?
Oh, by car, it's about 4 hours. By plane, it's about an hour and a half.
And you could get there on a full tank, top off, and fly back.
I could get there and back on a full tank. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was pretty good. The problem was I didn't fly. I was still working then, and I didn't fly enough
To go duck hunting.
to stay proficient. There you go. Good dog.
Girl, right there.
But every time I got in the plane, I might not fly for a month or two, and I get in the plane and I feel like a student again. And I just, and I had a couple of incidents where I went, holy shit, I could have died. And one was I took off out of Laurel one day, and I took off, and they teach you as soon as you get airborne, or even as you're getting airborne, always scan your instruments. And I had an oil pressure gauge and an oil temperature gauge. So you want your oil temperature to be low and your oil pressure to be high.
Right.
Well, dumbass me, I looked down at them and got them confused. So in my mind, I had low oil pressure, high oil temp, which means you're fixing to seize an engine. And I was probably 200 feet off the ground. I panicked. I called the tower. I said, I'm declaring an emergency. I'm coming back around to land. And I came back around. I was panicking the whole time, thinking the engine's going to seize up any second. Now, granted, there's nothing wrong. I just, in my mind, got the...
Hey, you just disorientation.
Yeah. So I come back around, I line up on the runway, and I hit the runway hot, because all I could think of was get it on the ground,
And
get it shut down, hopefully get the engine turned off. I hit the ground. I landed way above landing speed, and I hit the brakes. And when I did, the right brake seized, and the left brake broke off. And in aeronautical terms,
You spun.
I departed the runway.
You spun around, yeah.
No, I just made a hard right turn into a cow pasture.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, I had a couple incidents like that, and so anyway, I had the plane, and I went out one Saturday morning and flew it, and I come back, and I walked in the door. I said, I'm selling the plane. She said, why? I said, because I suck at this. I'm, this is not something you want to be mediocre at. I was a mediocre pilot.
What did I say?
And she said, my father would be so proud of you because, you know, you recognize your limits. And
Your flaw.
so I sold the plane. I just quit flying altogether. But I enjoyed all of it.
Tractors?
Huh?
Did you sell your tractors?
No, I've still got my tractors.
Well,
You
you're a
just don't put
mediocre tractor operator too.
Well,
That wasn't him.
Well, he was in the bucket.
Well,
that was my.
that's on
So it
him.
don't matter. It don't matter. You should have said, buy your coat. I'll give you $2 for whatever tractor you want to sell. Because you're no better of a tractor operator than you are a pilot at this point.
I wasn't operating the tractor. My son-in-law was at the
I
control.
know you weren't, but it's the same concept.
He's just trying
Well-
to get a cheap tractor, Richard.
The plane didn't try to kill you. The tractor did. My buddy is rich. He's a good guy. He's a lawyer in Lafayette, Louisiana. And I always knew Daddy Craig had money. I didn't know how much money Daddy Craig had, but he invites us to his camp one day. His camp is on 9,200 acres on an oxbow in Lake Providence, Louisiana, called Pittman Hogue Island. And there's 53 shareholders on Pittman Hogue Island. You have to buy in. A share is $450,000.
Mm-hmm.
There's 53 shares. And then you get a deeded piece of property, and they're about the same size. I think they're all about an acre, acre and a half, maybe 2 acres. On the oxbow, on another oxbow on the north side of it. So anyway, we go up there the first time. He's got a 700cc single seat badass hunting Can-Am something. It'd do about 80 miles an hour, positive traction rear end and front. It'll sling mud as far back as you want to. And then he's got a Polaris side-by-side, Ranger, whatever, side-by-side. So Craig and Margaret Laurie take off in the side-by-side because you really can't get 4 people in there. He's got a glass windshield and the soft doors on it. And I take off in this little freaking rocket ship, 700-800. It's badass. So then we go back up there about a month later, and I said, man, I can't wait to ride in that little bitty old rocket. He said, man, I got rid of that. I said, what'd you do? He says, well, I traded that and the side-by-side for this. So he got a 550 Polaris side-by-side, no doors on it, with a fold-up windshield, and a Texas Edition Can-Am 4-door side-by-side with power windows, power locks, power brakes, stereo, air condition, air ride.
Truck. He got a
Air
truck.
seats. It's got a game winch to pull and a roller on the back of the tailgate to winch a freaking dairy. And it's got a winch on the front. It's got 35-inch buckshot tires on it. This sumbitch is to catch me out. So I was up there rebuilding this freaking house. He wanted some work done on it. And it's 17 miles, I think. 13 miles around the perimeter of the island. And my favorite thing to do in the afternoon, there's, I don't know how many deers on there, but they got some monsters. I mean, 18 inches are they're baby deer, they're bucks, and they could probably take 400 does a year or more off the island, and they'd still be behind the curve. So anyway, I like riding around and seeing them and sharing and then seeing what's out there. So as you can imagine, on the oxbow, surrounded by water with the Mississippi River right here, I'm up there in May. Ain't no hunting season, ain't nobody out there. The rich guys are off doing whatever they do, wherever they do it. I get in this side-by-side, the Polaris Ranger with the windshield folded down. I got my cold beer. I'm going to go ride and see what's out in the afternoon. I get about 100 yards down the road. I'm eating fucking mosquitoes like it's nobody's business. I said, So I go back to the camp. I get in that Cadillac, and I start riding in that Can-Am Texas Edition. Turn the air conditioner up a little bit, stereo on a little bit. I hit the gas pedal. I'm doing 60. I had a freaking whoop-de-doo, and my drink didn't spill. I'm like, man, it's pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
they got.
I called him when I got back, Robbie. I said, I now know the difference between normal people and rich people.
Yeah.
It's the truest story I've ever seen. The average person will be happy to be in this Polaris 550 super duper.
Right.
That's side by side. That wasn't nothing but a hoopty freaking single wide trailer with aluminum street signs covering the holes in the floor.
Yep.
This something Can-Am is fine. $37,000.
Jesus.
You want to talk about your deer? I had a call today at work. We got a deer inside the high fence in a motor pool out here, and it's in bad shape. Y'all need to come take care of it. It's bleeding all over on the head, and I think it's got a broken leg. And we think that, all right, this thing's got in that fence and has banged itself up to the point where it's not going to make it. So we go over there to dispatch this thing. When I get there, this is a yearling deer. Yeah, it's got blood on its face, but that's just from banging up against the fence. He's got superficial lacks and stuff.
Horns?
No. It's. I mean, this thing was so small. It's not far out of spots. And
Tender fiddles.
do what? Yeah, it's gonna be tender. But
I started saying more tender than that.
That's about right.
That's one of the things. The person that found it said, "Hey, what are y'all gonna do with it? Can I have it since I found it?" And I said, "No." I said, "We can't benefit from this. We'll donate it to Hunter's Harvest. They'll do the processing of it, and the meat will get donated to food banks and foster homes and stuff like that need protein."
Ain't you a fucking Boy Scout?
I'm just not getting fired over some venison.
I threw that shit out of my truck.
So ended up that
Deer sushi.
we get there, and that deer is running so much, and it's healthy, obviously healthy. And I said, well, we just need to cowboy this thing out of this damn motor pool. So I'm out there running a deer with a Ford pickup truck, getting it to run into the corner. All right, now I got it going this way, and I get it turned, and it's going. And they got the damn gate swung to where, it gets and hits that gate, and it cuts across the lot. And I look, I said, y'all swing that damn gate the other way. So they swung it around the other side, and the next time I ran it around, it runs and it turns and it goes outside the motor pool. So I was cowboying, but I wasn't using a Can-Am. I was using an F-150 to cowboy a dang deer out of a
You said you was running after that deer. You wasn't running after shit. You was driving after shit.
I never thought that for a minute, Mike.
Look,
we was on the same page, buddy.
They had a race there the other day, and I went to volunteer. I was going to run the Coke trailer for them. When they came in from the race, they could get
that word run, Rob.
And they were running this race, and had this guy go, "Hey, Rob, are you running in that thing?" I said, "Hell no, not unless I'm out of ammo." If I got ammo, I ain't running.
You better not run out of ammo, or you're gonna run out of life, bro.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all know Dean Morrow, huh?
Yeah.
Dean has that bike running trial, whatever.
Yeah.
And I went in there one day or something. He was trying to sell me a bicycle. I said, "Let me tell you something. You see me riding a fucking bicycle, either I got a DUI or the bank repossessed my truck. That's the only way you'll see me riding a bicycle."
Guys, man, I have had y'all on here a while tonight.
I'm fixing to eat.
Yep. It's about time for us to wind down for this week. Folks,
Wind it up, brother.
I am so glad y'all joined us this week. It's always a pleasure when I got Mike Pontius, John Knight, and Richard Chapman that'll join me, and I appreciate y'all. As you see, Richard's always got a good story. I'm glad he came on. And John, you're pretty good, and you've got the goods on us, and I know that you're pretty good at throwing us under the bus every now and then as well. So It was a pleasure having y'all with me, and it was a pleasure having y'all join us. If you would, come back next week. We'll have another episode for you on Getting 10-8. Y'all take care. Have a good day.